used to use the Lemkin set a lot originally. What do I want to do? Let's lower it. No, that was the weight. That's the tractor. That's the plough. And there was an trailed attacher that you could attach two of the Lemkin subsoilers to, thus turning it from a 4 metre work width to a 8 metre work width. The downside was that each Lemkin subsoiler required about 140 horsepower, and I think the trailed attachment added another 100 horsepower, so you needed about 380 horsepower to haul it. Once we've done this, this field will be in ideal conditions to plant and get a decent return on the crop. Oh, now something I heard about Seasons mod is they're going to be encouraging crop rotation. So if you grow the right crop after another crop, so let's say you grow canola and then immediately after harvesting the canola you decide you're going to plant wheat, and wheat is the ideal crop to follow canola, assuming that's just a guess, but you can get a free level of fertilization for planting wheat after a crop that basically puts nutrients that wheat likes. You'll also get a bonus yield, which is another great thing. So you actually want to end up rotating your crops rather than putting the same thing over and over again. If you keep putting the same crop in, as far as I understand it, you're going to lose yield over time. The system's going to remember the last 2 crops you planted. At the moment it only remembers 1, or base game only remembers 1. So when I go to this map and back one, we can see this field used to have wheat on, this field used to have barley on, and so did this one. These 4 are still active. But as I'm ploughing this field, I'm losing the fact that it had wheat on it. But Seasons is going to remember that. Now they did say that what is it? Oilseed radish is not going to form part of the rotation, but it will still give you a level of fertilization. That'll be good. I mean, I must admit, even in Farm Sim 17, I'm playing Lawfolds, I rotate the crops every year. But not because I get a bonus out of it, just because you're kind of supposed to do it that way. This is going to take a while. I think going forward from this week, my Tuesday Farm Sim 19 will be Oldstream Farm rather than New Bartelshagen, and I'll be retiring New Bartelshagen as a playthrough. I might even delete it. It's kind of an interesting map. It allowed me to play some big equipment, but frankly it's not my style of map, and it just takes too long to get any work done. This farm's a little bit like Mercury Farm in that the fields are small. I'm going to be cycling through the jobs quite quickly. Although for the most part I'm going to try and avoid using workers. I may still use workers on harvesting. If I need, if there's other stuff I need to do. I mean, obviously I've still got 2 fields I need to harvest, but we're not in any great speed to get them done. Plus the yield's going to be lousy. I'd prefer to work on some fields and get them started that's actually going to start making us a lot of money. The other thing I noticed on this map is even on new farmer mode, crop prices are lousy. Let's take a look at those in a minute. Let's put that on a worker for a minute. Jake's completed their task. No, you haven't. Yes, okay. You're not going to do that. But wheat 800, barley's 400, oats is 900. Yeah, soybeans are 1500. I could sell a trailer load of soybeans. That would get me 12,000, 18,000. That might be handy. Also going to need to buy the BGA if I'm going to start producing silage. Unless you're going to make use of the land at the top, you could play a multiplayer farm in the top area, I guess. But this is really a single farm map, and more a nostalgia trip than it is, taking the benefits of what am I stuck on? Taking the benefits of Farm Sim 19. As I've said before, I like the way Mercury Farms is set up, where the buildings that you start with in new farmer mode are available in farm manager mode, so you can recreate the farm or create the farm using the buildings with the way you want it set up. I don't know that you can use... We'll try that out. I will make, as I said, we've got a cornfield, and I'm planning to buy the tractor-mounted forager, which is about 36,000 euros. We'll unload that into one of our silos, and then once it's ready we'll take that over to the BGA. But if I can't pour that into the digester, I'm going to have to buy the BGA in order to leverage that. As far as I'm aware, you can't use the BGA unless you buy it. And it's one of the problems Oxygen David had with Marwell Manor, was because you didn't own or because the milk and egg sell points were on effectively unowned land, you couldn't sell at them for some reason. There was some bug, and what he ended up doing was, instead of making the bits between the fields £17 million, and you have to buy, you have to save up 17 million in order to afford all the in-between bits. He changed that so the value of the land in the in-betweens was 0, and that if you started a new game, you owned that land. And at that point, you could sell eggs and milk. So that was kind of a problem when I started that farm, because I started that farm with cows, and I couldn't sell the milk. It wasn't a big issue, because I don't play that farm particularly frequently, primarily because I'm streaming so much, and it's not a farm I stream. So, and I now have kids in the house, and they kind of get in the way if I'm trying to play games. So obviously I didn't get round to doing anything significant that frequently. And when the 1.1 patch for Marwell dropped, yeah, I didn't even have a full tank of milk to sell. I'm thinking bales. I don't know that you can put bales in there either, but as I said, we'll give it a try, because it's something I would like to know for definite. Scheduled security scan, okay. No idea why my work PC thinks that it needs to do a security scan at midnight on a Saturday. Because if it was placed at the office, it would be turned off at 11:30 on a Saturday. Now, the thing is once I get to the end of this field, I could actually set about planting something in it immediately, and then work my way round, what was it, field 3 or whatever it was. The other one along this road was also ready to plant. We just lined it. I could then plough that one and plant it immediately. And it'll break up the harvesting jobs if I do that. So if I go off and plough and then plant them both at the same time, I'm going to have to... they'll end up requiring to be harvested at the same time. If I want to get cows, I'm also going to need some hay. I'm going to say I think the trees are set far enough back, but the map is slightly bigger, so where the fields feel like they're about the same size, there is more waste space around the fields, so there's enough room to turn around, and the trees aren't interfering with working the fields like they were in 17. So I might just keep the trees around because they provide character to the farm and to the map. I tell you, if 17 you'd run the harvester along the edge of the field harvesting and you were constantly crashing the top of the cab into a tree. And I just went on the rampage and chipped up dozens of trees all over the map. We'll go around that one. Whee! Just... notice the time. What's that? 11. Just gone 11 o'clock. I guess that means what I should do is probably finish off this field and then call it a night. Not doing badly in spite of the equipment size. It's going to take us about as long to seed this field as it has done to plough it. Oh, thank you too. Come on, forward. I must admit, I'm not actually sure where the bale sell point is on this map. I don't even know where it was on 17 either, because I never did any baling work at all. Missed the end. Because the farm silo takes hay and straw and grass, there's literally no point baling up anything. Because if you bale it, you've got to find some space to put it. Check what the field looks like when we get to the end. Okay, at the end. Fence is a little bit close. Should not do that with a subsoiler. Drag it through the ground, don't push it backwards through the ground. Just go straight across there. A little bit at the end I missed. There we go. Okay. Come about. I'll do a 270. Get back down to the road. Yes. Yes, you can sell bales at the bale sell point. What you can't do is sell stuff at the BGA unless you own the BGA. At least I'm fairly certain of that. But we'll get a definitive answer on that when we start producing silage on this map. Which could very well be later today. Do this edge, which should give me just enough width to do the gap in the middle. Nope. Turn around in this field since I own it. Still need to do something with all that straw. As I said, I'd like to get a loading wagon. I think I've been to the store enough times today. I'm going to have to go back with the crane and get one of those bags for seeding. I think I may just do it on the edge here. I'm going to guess it's going to take me 2 rows or 2 trips after this one to finish this off. That worked. Can get another 2. Just not keeping a straight line, am I? Okay. Do I have enough width on the plough to finish this off in one pass? Potentially. Not the end bit. That's much wider, I think. Yeah. Tiny little bit. And there we go. That is done. We'll lift that up. And we'll check the map just to confirm. This field, we missed a couple of bits of lime, but on the whole that field is now ready to go. Oh, what's that there? Ha ha! Woohoo! Okay, we found the cleaning thing. As I said, I thought I'd seen it somewhere. There it was. Okay, we're going to drop the plough round the front there. I might move the seeder into this area too. Okay. So, now we need to go and get our crane. That up. Okay, that worked. And we'll go up the back to get to the store. Doesn't look like I can get through there. It's the cow shed on our left. Okay, we're now going to find out if this weight is sufficient. It's about 500 kilos heavier than the last weight we tried. Hi Bernadette, how you doing? Oops, oh crud. Just killed a whole bunch of sunflowers. I have a 1600 kilogram weight on the front of this. I started out with an 1100. That really didn't work. I was much too light on the front. So kind of need something this heavy for the... good question. Not sure. I'm just going to drive across the grass because it's just the way I am. Okay. I'll lift it off the ground a bit. It's a little better behaved than the last attempt. Probably shouldn't be driving around at 38 kilometers an hour. Especially not with a plastic bag swinging from the back of your tractor. I mean, if that sack, it's 2,000 litres, so if that sack's about 2,000 pounds, 2,000 kilos, I should be able to get away with it. Yeah, I checked the edge of that sunflower patch. Oh well. I think you could go down here. Yeah. And that gets you in front of the bunkers. Ouch. That's not a particularly comfortable drop. Pretty sure I'm going to have to attach the cedar. So I need to open it up. Ugh. Okay. Every time it swings close. There we go. Back up a bit. Test it forward very slightly. Come on, here you go. I'm going to guess that's about full. Oh, yeah. However, I do have to overcome the weight of the crane on the back, so let's attach that. No, that is... that's not full. Hold on. That bag should disappear, I think. Let's drop that out the back. Whoops. Put it forward. Oh! I'm crazy, yes, of course. Let's lower that before we try to drive out from underneath the thing. So we'll stick this seed over in the corner as well. Then I need to find somewhere else to put this stuff eventually, but for now, drop. Ah, no, lift. There we go. Okay, we drop the bag off. I'll put the crane over in this corner, because I'm thinking I'm probably going to want the crane eventually anyway if I get sheep. Because I can use it to lift a couple of crates of wool. Okay. And yes, okay, so that's 1,000 litre capacity on the seeder. To go and plant field 7 with that. Let's have a look what stuff we have in the ground at the moment. We just pulled out the barley. That field is under prep. We have wheat on. I did do that one. So I have a tiny bit of wheat, not significant amounts. That will need to be ploughed and then planted. That's corn, sunflowers. We don't have soybeans or canola, so let's set that up for canola. And then I will run around here. Up by the washing. Okay. Check the. That's still mid-yellow, so I don't have to do anything with that for another growth cycle. Okay, let's jump out the tractor. That is a sleeping point, so this is my house with the brand new kitchen in the old rustic looking house. Anyway, working lights. Wow. Wonder if the sink works now. Oh, we got a nice fridge too. Ooh, posh. And that will take us out to the front door. Okay. There we go. Front door does work. Nice. Oh. Guess that's the trash is out. Check the mail, and yeah, that's the garage for the car. I sold that so I could buy some stuff, and this is a shed for. I could actually drive in this way to the workshop. Oh, and there's a opening into the garage. Well, we still got a scooter. Let's go back in the house. Let me in. Yeah. There we go. Oh, we open that door, we'll close that one, we'll go back into the kitchen, we'll close that one. So, anyway. can't close the window, so if it rains we're in trouble. Anyway, that's enough for playing. So, thank you all for watching. I will maybe be back tomorrow evening with some more of this, and definitely on Tuesday. In the meantime, have a good remainder of your weekend. I'm out of here. 2 hours live.